What's up with it, man? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment here again with another one. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, guys. Are playing in they got some new parts and whatnot. And then on top of that, you know what I'm saying. I think that one of the biggest reasons was the loss of PJ Tucker, and no matter how much you want to slice it, you know they pretty much have missed PJ Tucker. Now, Giannis, man, he came out and basically was, showing poise and composure throughout this process. He even said there's not even no reason to panic, really. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with Giannis, you know what I'm saying, because he has been playing good. But although they've been beating some mediocre teams, you still got to give them credit. Now, it started off with on Wednesday when they came in, you know what I'm saying, defeated the Lakers, 109, 102. That was a heavily anticipated game. People wanted to see how Giannis was going to look, or they were expecting to see how Giannis would look up against one LeBron James and Russell Westbrook and everybody else. Unfortunately, we know what took place or whatnot. LeBron did not play in that game, and plus, people were they weren't at full strength. But nevertheless, Giannis came in there, beat them 109, 102. Then it was easy work for the Thunder. They came in, they beat that squad, and then they beat the Magic too the very next game. Beat the Magic twice. Uh, 2 games in a row. Then they beat the Detroit Pistons on that Wednesday, and then just yesterday they beat the Nuggets. Now look, I know some people are like, oh, okay, well, these teams are mediocre or whatnot. But listen, all it takes is, a couple of good wins in order to get your team going. They did beat the Knicks and they beat us. They beat the Sixers or whatnot. They took a tough one against the Wizards, and they've been playing some pretty decent teams, but they've also lost against some not so good ones. But we know the situations or whatnot. But to get to the point, what I'm saying is that sometimes, man, beating some mediocre teams, it takes that in order for a team to get steamrolling. Now, no matter how much you want to look at it, man, these are the defending champs. People got to give Giannis his credit, man. He's played great this year. Giannis has came in and improved, and you saw that he was working on improving his game, even when you saw him in the preseason, because during the preseason you could automatically tell from jump start he was coming in to silence the critics. Now he's always had his field goal percentage has always been good, but he hasn't skipped a beat. Listen, he's been averaging 27.1 and 11 rebounds and 6 assists. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm gonna say it again. MVP like numbers. MVP like numbers, because if you take Giannis off of the floor, guess what? He can, that's going to be a detriment to the team. And on top of that, I think what's more interesting too that a lot of people aren't looking at is Giannis isn't really playing that many minutes. He's only averaging 32.4 minutes a game, compared to, last season he was under a head just shy of 33 minutes a game. And so there's been some other seasons where he's been like 36 and 37 or whatever. But the reason why I think that that's a key point to put out there is because he's able to be efficient in minimal time. Okay, yes, there was a couple of games where he was a little suspect. He was suspect against Detroit. I mean, I'm sorry about that. When he was suspect against the Orlando game, and then he was also suspect. I would say maybe in maybe the Atlanta game. But other than that, he hasn't really underperformed, and maybe the Knicks game too as well. Other than that, he's been picking up where he left off, and then on top of that, he's been showing improvement in other aspects of his game, and he's able to do that while being shorthanded too. So I think that Giannis, man, needs to get a lot more credit and just a lot more just due than what everybody's been giving them. Now, I also got to talk about a team too, which I'm gonna do a video on too as well, and that's one the Nets. The Nets they're back at the top, and everybody was excoriating them. Everybody was like, "Oh, what's going on with the Nets?" Look, they number one now. We still got a long season to go, but like I said, man, we're close to a quarter of the season being done, and we still got some more basketball to be played. But at the same time, I think that these guys like Giannis and Middleton, and of course KD and Harden or whatever, they realize, okay, look, they're in the Steph Curry situation, like what Steph Curry was having to deal with last year. It's just that Steph Curry actually gotten used to not having his moving parts and not functioning or whatever. And I think they coming in with this year being like, you know what, we're gonna just have to play regardless. And I think that Giannis and Middleton, they see, okay, well, we don't have PJ Tucker, and we're shorthanded. We don't really have all our weapons or whatnot. We got to just play. And KD and Harden, they need to recognize that too. We're like, okay, look, Uncle Drew's not here, but that can't stop a show, and we still have enough. They're not making any excuses, and they're still coming out there, and they're climbing up the charts. I'm sorry about that, up the standings. You know what I'm saying? So y'all let me know what you think. I think it's something to be looked at. Can't just throw these guys out of there like they didn't win last year. Regardless of what you want to say, regardless of what you want to say, they still are the defending champs. So leave your comments, like this video, share it, subscribe, hit them notifications. Until then, it's Polo Sports Talking Entertainment. I'll get at y'all later.